If you're a restaurant owner, you know the pain of having a bad manager. It's what is going to destroy morale, potentially cost you thousands, and set you up for failure, because the number one reason good people quit is bad managers. And I get it. You hire them, you train them. Maybe they're even pretty darn good and you're like, hey, let's promote you up. You're doing great. You should lead. And then it goes sideways on you. Finding and developing great managers is one of the hardest tasks of restaurant ownership. But here's the truth. Most owners set their managers up to fail before they even get in the game. Now, if you've hired managers or promoted them and they lack ownership, they're not delegating properly, or just getting frustrated and quitting on you, I get it. I've been there. I don't want that for you, and that's what I'm gonna detail right now. I've had hundreds of managers over the years. Again, I'm Mike Bausch. I own Andolini's Worldwide. This is one of my restaurants, and I also own the Unsliced Restaurant System, which helps restaurant owners, independents, get an unfair advantage they should have had from the start by using the things I know work to build profitable, smart, engaged team members. Now, before I dive into the first mistake that I see categorically tons of restaurants doing, if you want us to deep dive on your branded restaurant, book a restaurant review call. We'll get with you. We'll see what you got going on. It's right there in the description, and let's get you right. So the number one thing that restaurants do wrong today, more than anything else, is promote the wrong people into management. Or moreover, they promote them without priming the scenario. They promote them based upon past performance. That's like saying, hey, because you're the best basketball player ever, how about you come drywall my house? That's the mindset shift, because someone who's really efficient and great at executing on the line does not mean that they're great at telling other people how to do that themselves and being stoked off their wins. A lot of people are very in their own world and they're great at it, and they want to get the cookie of, hey, you're really good at that. It's hard for several people to transition that to, hey, that person did great. Good job to you for leading them. They now need to know that if they're going to lead, everyone else's performance is what represents them. And that's a mindset shift. If you don't make that clear, you're gonna over promote. If you don't make that clear and they know how to do it and they're stoked about doing it, you're gonna over promote someone that should have never been promoted and could never handle this position. What this type of person will do is they will jump in on everyone else's tasks, because that's what they know. I do tasks quickly. This person's slow. I'm fast. Let me do it for them. And they're gonna burn out. They're gonna micromanage every single thing because they don't trust these team members. They have no baked-in leadership skills. So the frustration level is going to mount not only for them, their employees, and you as their owner and full direct leader, because that's what you have to do. You gotta train them to be a leader, not a glorified manager or truly babysitter, a true leader who has a vision of what needs to happen by when and why, and then how to get that message out to their subordinates in a manner that gets them stoked to do it. That's the task. So here's what you're gonna do first. If you're even considering someone should be a leader, you're going to give them leadership tasks. Have them organize a small crew to do a few things and see how they perform with it. Are they excited about it? Do people resonate when they give them orders? Do they problem solve? Do they motivate others? Or do they see these other people winning as an affront to them? That person's fast. I'm still faster. That person doesn't understand the mindset shift that needs to occur. And unless you make it super obvious and they get on board, this person will never be a good manager or leader for your brand. The way you undo this is you have to have leadership training along with your management training, and that has to be off-site, done over multiple days. And then, and only then, they have a shot at doing this right, because pushing them out of the nest is the fastest way to destroy your investment. Let's be real, this person is an investment. You've invested a lot of time and effort and energy, and just because they don't have the natural baked-in skills of leadership, you need to show them, to give them that shot that they deserve and that you want. If you just say, if he don't got it, he don't got it, that ain't cool. It's not cool. You have to decide that you are going to set aside time for them to learn leadership and management from you potentially, so they can have that best shot at doing this the right way, where they have that mindset shift. Number two thing that destroys management is the management and those below them and you above them are not given proper direction as to who has authority over what. Along with that, boundaries of what's acceptable and what's not. Especially if this person is transitioning from being a regular employee to now a leader. Are they still allowed to hang out and party with their former friends? Could cause a problem. Are they now on your level where you're talking about leadership things and not supposed to discuss this with their bros, right? If you don't really set the tone of here's the boundary, you are now wearing a different hat, you're gonna have a disconnect. If they don't know, well, here's something I go to them for or you for because you have not organized an organizational chart for everyone to know who reports to who for what, when, and how, you're gonna have confusion. It's going to be frustrating. And again, frustration leads to these problems. When that happens, the confusion makes employees bypass their direct supervisor, go right to you, the owner. And if you don't say, hey, I wanna hear this, but have you gone to your direct supervisor yet? Followed the chain of command. If you don't and just say, well, this is what you should do, you're gonna usurp their authority and they're going to be disenfranchised, basically cut off at the knees. And now you have two problems: a staff that thinks they report to you, not their manager, and a manager that can't lead because you haven't empowered them. So if you want great managers, set great boundaries, set clear expectations. Expectations not clear leads to unmet expectations and ton of problems. What do they approve on their own? Do they approve a scheduler change or do you? They want to change something that's being sold tonight. Is that, holy God, no one changes the menu unless I, the owner, say? Or is that, yeah, whatever, who cares? Is this clear? Is this obvious? Do they know the path to do systematically every aspect of what they've been tasked with doing? If you struggle with this, you're gonna write down a manager action list. All the things that a manager is empowered to take action on and those that they are not. So therefore, they know what they can do and what they can't do. The next thing I'm gonna say here is going to be the difference whether these managers sink or swim. Factually, it's gonna be that. Before I dive into that, if you really need this, I'm sure you're watching this far, go into the description, book your restaurant review call. Let's talk about what you got going on and see how we're gonna get it right today. You're doing okay, let's get you great. So I mentioned it before, I'm gonna reiterate, a fully baked manager and leadership training. Now this should encompass mindset first. In the perfect scenario, it would be a full day just on leading, having them understand that the staff who goes the distance gets rewarded. The leader who likes it when their team wins is going to be the one that's in with us for the long haul. Because you have to retrain, again, their brain that you don't work for me, the owner. We all work for this. And when they know that, they act different. Once they do know that, then and only then do we get into the systematic things that you need them to know. How to open a shift, how to close a shift, how to count the drawer, all the things you want them to know from you. Now, some of these things you could just record and create an SOP and make sure that they learn it and have that education be something separate. The real, like, hey, how do you feel about that one-to-one experience of true leadership and management training will probably need to be done by you or a significant, awesome superior to them in a closed setting. Along with this, you're going to get into role playing, not just customer interactions, but also employee interactions. Hey, let's role play when someone comes in late for the third time. Let's role play what you're gonna say when you need to write someone up. Let's role play how you're going to give positive praise. If you don't, you're leaving it to just hope. Imagine a soccer team, baseball team, what have you, that just never practiced. They just watched the game film, wrote stuff on the board and said, great, now go play the game. They would lose. They'd lose every time. Of course they would. They haven't run the play. You might not be able to have them run the play on people and fail. So how about you don't do it where the stakes are on the line, you do it at practice and you role play in this leadership and management training. You role play all the scenarios that you want them to have that you're curious or at least a little hesitant to know that they know how to do it right to ensure they do your way. An action item here is you got to have weekly management meetings where you talk about everything that's going right, everything that's going wrong, and how they've had these discussions during the week, factually, not emotionally, like, oh man, they were a pain in the ass. No, I had a discussion with Tom on Tuesday about him being late for the third time, and here's how it went. When you go down that road, you are going to see what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong so that you can course correct without micromanaging them. Number 4 thing, that a lot of owners aren't doing with their managers, which is holding them accountable to the data. What is the average ticket of your servers? Are you taking it up? What is the food cost? What is your waste log looking like? Are you doing it? Why not? If it's not going right, and that's the system we decided on, there's an ambiguous expectation, or is it you just don't care? Or what is going wrong that makes you think other things are more important than this? I just forgot. All right, well then we need a task list you check off before you leave so this doesn't happen. That which is measured gets done. And the data has to be extremely paramount in this scenario. It can't just be, well, I think you're really working hard. Where are you moving the needle from a data perspective of your KPIs, be it food cost, average ticket, total revenue sales, customer reviews? Where are you moving the needle with data that's fact-based so we take my emotion out of the mix? Because you might think the world of this manager. They can do no wrong. That puts you in a weak position. Or the inverse. You're like, I never liked this kid, but he's a manager. I don't know, we'll see how he does. But you're like, actually, they're killing it. And I need to put my ego aside and recognize that this person is killing it. Actually, because the data supports that. Along with this, even attrition. Are they keeping staff? Are they keeping too much staff because they've made this place a clubhouse? Or are they having just enough attrition to know that they're moving the needle to keep only the best? You only know that if you have an attrition report, which is something your managers have to be accountable for. Because if they have 100% attrition, you know people hate working for this person and your ass is losing because of their ill will. Number 5, and most important for what you need to have great managers, which is you must provide a path to growth. There has to be more. It can't just be, okay, I guess I hit my ceiling, because anyone who's worth their salt is gonna bounce on you if they've hit their ceiling. There has to be more bonuses, more revenue, more I can get here, or potentially growing into a GM position somewhere else. If they don't know that there's more growth and that you are concerned with their growth, whether it just be their financial growth or their mental acumen or how they are becoming better people with a higher role in your business, they are going to leave if they are a high performer. It's just the way it is. So what is the growth plan you have set up? Are you doing an evaluation with them? Hey, here's what's going right. Here's what's not going right. Here's our plan for the next year. Hit this and you're gonna get X. Now, how do you feel about that? Huh? Great. Oh, you wanna work on that? I agree. Oh, that's interesting. We should be doing more of that. When you then get feedback, you get stronger and they get better because they want to get better for you and only you. And when you do that, you go from being not just the owner to the visionary leader that inspires them to also be visionary leaders for their staff. Because if they see the long-term opportunity and they live this brand with you, you take them out of just being seeking incentive or avoiding punishment. You get them with the most important thing, which is ideologically buying in that this is my home. This is where I belong, and this is where I'm gonna work my ass off because I believe in this, because it's bigger than me. When you do that, the game changes. You as an owner have to empower your managers to lead. When they lead, you can grow. You can make the hard decisions. You can do the vendor negotiation. You can make your restaurant healthier. If you do their job for them because you don't trust them, or you have to put out their fires because they're not properly trained, you are trying to run a race without running shoes on, and you're gonna step on rocks and it's gonna suck. So empower your managers, lean into the investment and get your ROI. A little bit of management training goes a long way. A little bit of role playing goes a long, long, long way. And weekly checking in on this, allowing them to win with their people that they allow to win, is how you and all of us win. So if you're not doing that today, it's okay. Today is a new day, but you gotta set this time aside and say, hey, this manager could be great if I allow for it. And that's what I'm about to do. If you want your managers or these systems set up for you instead of trying to create them from scratch, I get it. Book your restaurant review call. Let's see what's going right and wrong so we can fix it with you today. Additionally, I have another video I think you're gonna dig on what really sets restaurants that are successful apart. It's right here. Click that and I'll see you next time.